What's up, everybody? Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the difference between guilt and shame. And this has been an absolute game changer for me. As soon as I figured this out, it completely shifted the way that I approach things. And I think it will definitely help you out too. I think you're really going to like this message, and I'm excited to share it with you. Now, before we get into this, I just want to say, on Thursday, in our school group, I have a good friend of mine, Joe Villegas, who's been a trainer for Tony Robbins, Peter Sage. He's a strength and conditioning coach. He does a lot of corporate work as well. He's going to be coming in and talking to us about emotional mastery, which is something that, from my perspective, especially if you're into reality transurfing, seems to be a bit of a sticking point and a place where people can get hung up. The idea of importance, the idea of desire and wanting things too much seems to kind of get in the way a lot for many of us who are studying the transurfing model of reality. So Joe is going to come in and he's going to talk about this concept, and he's going to give us some clarity and help us to understand how we can basically navigate our emotions a little bit better, right? We know we don't want to repress it. We don't want toxic positivity. We don't want spiritual bypassing. We want to feel the emotions that we're feeling. And I think this video today that I'm making can help with a great distinction between some of the emotions that we're feeling from out here versus some of the emotions that we're feeling from in here. And that can kind of help us to understand what our motivations really are and what other people's motivations are. And so I'll go ahead and jump into it right now and give you guys the sauce, okay? So here's the difference between guilt and shame. And the difference between guilt and shame is guilt is something that we do to ourselves, and shame is something that other people do to us. Okay, so let's unpack this because it's really, really important. As far as you, as far as the things that you are trying to accomplish in your life, as far as like what it is that you're here to do and what your purpose is and what your goals are, those are all and should be sacred, part of your credo, part of your expression as a human being. And so if you violate your own principles, then of course you're going to feel guilty about it, right? But if you go with your own principles, if you do the thing that you feel like you need to do, even though there's other people resisting it, they may call you names. They may make fun of you. They may say you're cringy. Who knows, right? But that has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them, okay? So that's not coming from you. Now, when we violate our own principles, it can be kind of damaging to our self-worth, and that's something that we have to rebuild some trust with ourselves when we do. Whereas when we violate what someone else thinks is right for us, well, that's just them mostly probably just hating on us for actually following our internal voice and doing the thing that we feel compelled and inspired to do. And generally, that's going to be, from a very sincere and honest place. Many of the things that we're inspired to do are very hard. And once we start to do these things, we get an intuition, we get an insight, and then we follow that insight. We follow that rustle of the morning stars. And as soon as we follow that insight and that rustle of the morning stars, people are going to be there to sling haterade at us, right? To get upset and to say that, oh, you did this or you did that, or you should have done it like this or you should have done it like that. It's real easy for them to say as they're sitting on the sidelines. Anyone who's following their own path, anyone who is on a trajectory of fulfillment and putting their soul into what they're doing, doesn't have time to talk shit from the sidelines. They don't. So their opinion doesn't really matter. And it shouldn't. And this is a great way that we can distinguish what is coming from us, what our true motivation is, and what we feel like we're inspired and we're created to do versus what other people think is okay or what we should do. So guilt is something that we feel internally whenever we violate our own principles. And often these two things They run sort of corollary to one another, right? It's like if I if I do as everyone else does and follow the herd in social conditioning, then I'm in that I'm doing the right thing as far as the collective is concerned, but my heart hurts because I'm not doing the thing that I know I need to be doing. I'm not thinking for myself. I'm not taking action towards what it is that I truly want. So if someone else says, no, no, that's not okay, we're very often like, oh, well, we don't want to hurt anybody else. But if you're not hurting anybody else, and that's a big caveat here, then how could you be doing anything wrong? If you feel inspired and you get a vision and you have a direction in mind, then that's for you. That's not just your idea, that's the creator literally working through you. And so other people who are not tuned in, they're not tapped into source, they're not following their own guidance system internally, of course they're going to comply with whatever the social narrative is, whatever the group think is. They have pendulums that are running them, and then they're going to shame you for basically overriding your own programming and doing the things that you think are important, that you think will make a difference, that you think will make the world and the people around you better, safer, more abundant. So this insight was absolutely huge for me. I learned this just a couple of days ago. I learned it and I had a dramatic realization because I'm right now in the middle of promoting a big national comedy festival here in Athens, Georgia. Athens Comedy Fest, May 2nd through the 4th. I'm promoting all the time. And the other night, we went out to talk to people and basically just do some guerrilla marketing. I mean, literally guerrilla marketing. I had my friend dress up in a gorilla costume and we had some yard signs, with the information of the show. We went into all these busy, crowded bars and on the street and just talked to anyone who was interested to learn more about the festival. And they would press me. They'd be like, tell me a joke. Oh, you're a comedian? Tell me a joke. And you know what's funny? I would tell them a joke. And then I would talk to them. And then I would say, I'm performing on this night and so is on this night. We have Pete Lee, by the way, who's absolutely hysterical. Karen Morgan and over 20 national touring comedians. It's going to be an amazing show. There's even a kickoff party the night before on the Thursday on May 1st. Really, really excited about it. And this insight helped me to, instead of locking up socially and feeling like, what am I doing walking around with a gorilla? What am I doing walking around promoting this festival, which brings people joy and laughter and good times and happiness? I mean, what's better to promote than that? And then from my heart's sake, it's like, I want people to feel good. I want people to leave a comedy show and be relieved, maybe even open up to some new ideas possibly, right? Like that's my heart. I want that for them. And so if someone's going to shame me for putting out positivity and good vibes and laughter and love and lightness and levity, then that has everything to do with them and nothing to do with me. So it made the night go so much more smoothly. It made it so much more easy for me to just walk up to people who were looking at us, right? And say, hey, what's up? This is my friend. We're out promoting this festival. It's May 2nd through the 4th. It's at the Morton Theater. It's in downtown Athens, Georgia. We'd love to see you there. And then they'd be like, oh, you're a comedian? All right, well, tell me a joke. And there were a couple of instances where I wound up talking to people for 5-10 minutes and just cracking them up, just telling them a joke and connecting with them and vibing with them. And they're like, dude, we're coming to see you. They're like, I don't even know who the other people are. We don't care. We're coming to see you because you're so committed. It was clear that it was clear that I was convicted about what I was doing. Okay. And if you're convicted about what it is that you're doing within yourself, then any negative feelings have to be shame. It has to be, right? Because that's not guilt. It's not coming from within you. It's coming from out there. And usually those people are, if it's negative, they're just sitting on the sidelines and they're not necessarily doing the thing. Other people who are following their own inner compass, other people who are following their own inner compass, they're going to applaud you. They're going to say you're getting after it. You're grinding, you're hustling, you're crushing, whatever term they want to put in there. And they're going to be inspired by what you're doing. So you're going to show other people and be a firefly to them by doing the thing that you are convicted about, that you're truly passionate about. You're following your curiosity, you're following your own motivation, and you're putting something into the world that you care about. And if no one else cares about it, or if only a few people care about it, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who cares, right? It doesn't matter how many people watch this video or don't. As long as it connects with the right people that also need to hear this message, right? And that might just be me. It might just be me watching it back. And that's fine too. Because this lesson will absolutely change your life. When you go out and you say, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, now you can tell whether it's coming from you, the feelings that you're having, or it's coming from someone else. I would say the majority of the time, it's going to be coming from someone else. It's going to be shame. Oh no, the resistance that you feel to follow your dream, to follow your passion, is most of the time going to be someone else's opinion who's not doing anything anyway. So listen to yourself. And if you listen to yourself instead of listening to them, you're not going to feel guilt. You're not going to violate your own principles, your own credo, your own values. Instead, you're going to continue to build toward your dream, no matter what anybody else has to say. It's fine. They can think whatever they want. They're entitled to their opinion. Everyone here is flawed. No one's perfect. And no one really even knows what's going on anyway. So you might as well follow your own inner voice. You might as well follow your own inner guidance system because, frankly, that's the best you've got. That's the best option that you have. So if it's coming from out there, it's shame. If it's coming from in here, it's guilt. And 9 times out of 10, if you do something based on someone else's shame, you're going to feel guilty about doing it or not doing it. So go ahead and get out there, follow your passion, follow your dream, follow your heart. And if someone has something to say about it, just let it fall away to the wayside, knowing that that's coming from them. That's shame, and it has nothing to do with you. Be shameless. We'll see you in the next one.